Good evening, everyone. Time is 6:30 on November 15th. This regular meeting of Mayor and Council is now called to order. Roll call, all council members present, with the exception of Ms. Price, and I believe she's on her way. Please rise for a pledge of allegiance, followed by an invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we come to you this wonderful day, thanking you for allowing us to wake up to another day. Father God, we ask you to come into the middle of this meeting. Right? We ask you to come into any meeting that we're a part of. In your Son, Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
All right, I do have a few announcements this evening. Municipal court will be held November 16th at 1 p.m. in the community room. Tree board meeting November 24th, 6 p.m. also in the community room. Planning commission November 22nd, 6 p.m. community room. Planning commission also has a call meeting on November 30th at 6 p.m. in the community room. Our next council work session, December 1st, 6:30, community room. Downtown Development Authority meeting, December 8th, 9 a.m. in the Welcome Center. Main Street Commission meeting, December 13th, 8 a.m. in the community room. Historic Preservation meeting, December 13th, 6 p.m. in the community room. And our next council meeting will be December 20th at 6:30 p.m. in the community room. We have a few presentations this afternoon. First one being the employee introduction and recognition.
Hello, I'd like to introduce you to a new,
My name is Delane Anderson Jr.
and he works for the street department, and he goes by TJ. He lives here in Social Circle, and I stole him from Madison. And his favorite thing to do is anything mechanical, and he loves operating equipment, and he does a great job for the street department.
And I'd like to thank Ms. Robbie and Montre for the opportunity to come out and work with y'all. And I've enjoyed myself so far. And like I said, I love running equipment, especially that new leaf truck until it messed up.
That's enough.
Right.
Yeah, delete that part.
But yeah, I love Circle. I've been here a couple of months and no complaints. And I also got to know the mayor and his wife, and like I said, I enjoy the community, like everybody, and I like working with everybody. I get along with anybody, and I don't have no problem doing anything somebody says to do. It's great.
Thank you, sir. Glad to have you here.
Welcome to the city.
Thank you.
Are there any other introductions?
No introductions, we have a recognition.
Okay.
Good evening. It's my pleasure this evening to come before you and recognize Chief Robinson. Chief Robinson was recently recognized by the Georgia Association of Fire Chiefs as the Chief Fire Officer of the Year for the state of Georgia. Thought I would read the information I put in the pamphlet for him tonight where he got his award, so you'll bear with me for just a second. Chief Robinson started his career in 2003 serving in different roles within Newton County, the City of Covington, and Rockdale County Fire Departments before coming to work for the City of Social Circle in 2013. Chief Robinson was initially hired as a captain to oversee the fire department operations and help the city change direction from the public safety concept and split back towards a separate police and fire department in 2012. He was promoted to his current role as Deputy Fire Chief in 2015. Chief Robinson was initially tasked with assisting the fire chief in the reorganization of the department, where he has been an instrumental part of helping shape the goals and future direction of the department. In helping shape the department and the future growth of the city, Chief Robinson helped guide the department and prepare it for its most recent ISO evaluation, which lowered the city's rating from a Class 4 to a Class 2. As a paramedic and EMS instructor, he developed the department's EMS program, where all members of the fire department are now either EMTs or paramedics, and we operate at either a basic or advanced level licensed by the state of Georgia Department of Public Health. This program has greatly increased the quality of service and the level of care we provide to our citizens within the city. Chief Robinson is dedicated to the fire service, becoming the best chief officer possible. He has spent his entire fire service career preparing for the role of a chief fire officer. Chief Robinson completed his bachelor's degree in fire science and is working on his second bachelor's degree in fire protection engineering. He's also in his 4th year at the National Fire Academy's Executive Fire Officer Program in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Chief Robinson completed the requirements and earned his Georgia Certified Fire Chief from the Georgia Association of Fire Chiefs in 2016 and has met the renewal requirements now twice in 2019 and 2021. He attended Georgia Office of EMS's Trauma Leadership Academy in 2020 and was appointed as the City Fire Marshal in July of 2022. Chief Robinson not only valiantly serves the city of Social Circle, but he also serves the citizens of Rockdale County as a battalion chief. Chief Robinson is an excellent example of what it means to be a chief fire officer, and we're extremely proud to have him here, and I'd like to recognize him tonight in this meeting for having received the Chief Fire Officer of the Year award for the state of Georgia.
Jimmy, that's quite an accomplishment. Will you come forward and have a picture made with us, please? Chief, you want these? Yeah, well, I just behind Jimmy. Behind? Oh, that's good. Yeah. Too many more of you right there. Hopefully we've got somebody to take a picture.
There's a shadow on Michael's face.
Yeah. Don't know if it'll come back on, but.
Okay, ready?
Thank you. Congratulations. Okay, downtown rundown.
Good evening. This is our rundown for November. First on my list is the Christmas tree lighting. The Social Circle Leadership Commission invites everyone to attend our annual Christmas tree lighting this Friday night from 6 to 8 p.m. in Friendship Park. All of our downtown retail and restaurants will be open during the lighting, so we ask that everyone make sure to stop by and do some Christmas shopping while in downtown. We will light the tree around 6 p.m. and this year we'll have a special guest helping with the countdown, Miss Rachel Russell, who's a resident at Social Circle Nursing and Rehab. If you remember, they won the Scarecrow contest that we had during Friendship Festival. And so we have one of their residents that's going to come help us with the tree lighting this year. So Santa and the Grinch will be there, and we'll have a lot of fun games and activities that are scheduled. So please come out and join us. And then twice this season, the Social Circle Theater will be hosting a live nativity in Friendship Park. The dates will be Sunday, November 20th and Sunday, December the 4th. The nativity will have 2 readings each night, the first starting at 6 and the last one at 7. Several of the retail and restaurants who are not typically open on Sundays will be open for these events for shopping and dining during that time. And then Dawson Lodge will be sponsoring Fire Pit for s'mores during the nativity, and JK Design will be sponsoring hay rides through downtown. And then last on my list is Shop Small Weekend. The downtown retail and restaurants will be participating in Shop Small Weekend on Friday, November 25th and Saturday, November 26th. Some of them have started to advertise their sales for that weekend, and we will be helping them, posting them on our social media. Shoppers can pick up a passport at any of the downtown participating businesses during Shop Small Weekend, and then shoppers can use those passports the following week to be entered into a drawing for a gift basket. So we encourage everyone, not only on Shop Small Weekend, but all the time, to come out and support our businesses in downtown. And that's it.
Any questions, Brad? Thank you. All right, no one signed up up for citizens' requests. Do we have any council requests? I do need Jay or Eric, if you will bring these up. We do need to add some items to the agenda.
Yes, Mayor, we need to add 4 additional items under new business, I believe. These are all extensions of the current moratoriums that we have going on in the city that are about to run. The first one is extending a temporary moratorium on the accepting of applications for business licenses for title loan companies, payday loan companies, and other similar practices until April 30th, 2023. The second item to be added will be extending a temporary moratorium on the accepting of applications for rezoning for the residential zoning classes in the city of Social Circle, and that will be until April 30th, 2023. Extending a temporary moratorium on the accepting of applications for building permits for the uses of warehouses or distribution centers, and that'll be also through April 30th, 2023. And finally, extending a temporary moratorium on the accepting of application permits for certain signs exceeding 100 square feet per sign space, and that will be through April 30th, 2023.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to modify the agenda with those additions.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to approve the amended agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, first up, we have a public hearing this evening. As is with other public hearings, we will have staff come up and give a presentation. After that, the applicant will have 10 minutes to also make a presentation. After that, we'll call for those in favor of and those in opposition to this public hearing. And each of those will have 10 minutes total to make their case. Okay, Ms. Barber.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mayor and Council. You have before you a preliminary plan review for a subdivision named Westland Park subdivision off Alcovey Road. This subdivision has 100 acres. It's owned by Ned Butler with Reliant Homes, and he would like to build 30 single-family homes on parcel SC 020001, consisting of the 100 acres. Just a little background on the 100 acres. It was zoned agricultural. We did rezone this property to R15, medium density, for single-family homes last year. He did come before and get the sketch plan done, but he's revised his plan some and missed that deadline, so we've been through the sketch plan. And this is the last step, the preliminary. And there was some conditions put on this property. There's 30 lots, and that last lot is 66.29 acres. The property was zoned in 2021 from agricultural to R15. Excuse me. The same elevations will not be built within 2 lots on each side of a home, nor the lot directly across the street within 2 lots of each other. The home exterior must be brick, stone, cement-based siding, cedar or shank. No vinyl siding shall be used. No above swimming pools allowed. No window air conditioning units allowed. Each home will have a garage with a minimum of 440 square feet. The water table on the brick or the stone must be at least 18 inches in height, and this is required on the front and the sides. The developer must establish an HOA and have a declaration of covenants restrictions be recorded, thus subjecting all 100 acres for the HOA compliance and to maintain open space in the retention pond. The HOA will be formed and active with board members chosen at a 75% built out before any other permits will be issued.
Each home will contain a minimum of 15% clear glazing, windows and doors on the front elevations. All plumbing for the roof vents will be located at the rear elevation of the home. And like I said, this is a 3-step process on a subdivision. You present a sketch plan, and they have so much information on that, and then they come back, if they get through that, they come back with a preliminary plan that has quite a bit more detail. It'll have the water line, and you'll see that this water line goes up there, and then we have a 20-foot water line easement. The last thing I've added, Mr. Butler was working this week, I know, on trying to get some easement space so he can loop this water line through Laurel Oak subdivision. So the Planning Commission held their meeting, and they had considered approving or recommending approval to the mayor and council as presented. But I believe it was the council's wish at the work session to make sure that the water line is looped. So I'm going to turn it over to, if y'all don't have any questions, turn it over to the applicant, and we'll see how far we got this week.
Okay, I'll call the public hearing to order. Mr. Butler.
I am mainly here just to answer questions. We are working with neighboring property owners and starting to reach out with that process and understand that we are going to have to loop this water line through somewhere towards the rear of our subdivision through to Laurel Oak subdivision. So we are beginning that process to reach out to neighbors and acquire an easement to do so.
So if you will, I know there was some discussion in our work session. Councilmember Shelton had some concerns and brought up the area in the back where that the water line currently, the easement currently is. So it's your understanding and our agreement that you're coming in prior to.
So it's what my understanding is we're not providing this easement that runs along that property to the back any longer. And we are going to come out somewhere from here, if you can go back to the last page. Somewhere in the back section of our subdivision through one of these properties to tie into Laurel Oaks.
Okay. All right, any question for Mr. Butler?
Yeah, will any other homes have any brick frontage?
Yes, ma'am. There'll be a mix. We are looking at doing what we're building in Clubside Estates in Monroe, which is more of a Charleston look. So most of the brick is all along the bottom, and it's hardy board above that. And they're front entry garages, but they sit about 20 feet off the back of the house, so they're not sitting right up at the front of the house.
Clubside's off Alcova Mountain Road, isn't it?
Yeah, Alcovey Street near the golf course, Monroe Country Club. So yes, this is a good example. So the main brick is going to would be below the windows, across the front and down the sides.
I have a question.
Sir, just, we'll open the public hearing and allow comment in just a second. Any other questions for Mr. Butler from the council? Thank you, Mr. Butler. All right, I'll now turn it over. I'll ask the public for comment. Anyone that's in favor of this, please come forward. This is your opportunity, sir, if you want to make a comment.
Yeah, I just have a question. I just wanted to know.
to the podium, please.
Yeah, please, come to the podium and give us your name and address, please.
Adolphus Norrington Jr., 3857 County Line Road. And I just wanted to know whether or not that project bump up to the Norrington's property on County Line Road.
It doesn't go all the way to County Line Road, Mr.
It don't?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It backs up to the lots that's off of Clegg Farm. You know that new subdivision over there, Old Clegg Farm Road?
Right.
It backs up to that.
Okay. I just wanted to know because I got a letter that's saying that it may, so that's why I was checking.
That's because he's in that area.
That's just because you're in that area, not the fact that it backs up to your property. Yes, sir.
That's all I wanted to know.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Anyone else here wishing to speak in favor of this project other than the applicant? anyone here to speak in opposition of this project? Seeing and hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the council for a motion.
Make a motion to accept it as presented.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Shelton and a second from Councilmember Jackson. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, indicate saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Butler. All right, next up we have the consent agenda. Mr. Taylor, will you go through that for us?
Certainly, Mr. Mayor. We have 6 items on the consent agenda this evening. First item is approval of the minutes of the Mayor and Council regular meeting of October 18, 2022. Second is approval of the executive session minutes from October 18, 2022. Third is approval of the minutes for the Mayor and Council work session that was held on November 3, 2022. We have consideration of amendment to raise the annual fee for insurance companies. Currently, we collect $40 for every insurance company that conducts business within the city limits of Social Circle. This is governed by state law according to the population of your city. We now have a population of over 5,000, which gives us the ability to charge $50 instead of $40. So this will further codify that so we can start collecting that in the next year. We have approval of the revised animal control ordinance. We are required to have the same animal control ordinance as Walton County since they handle all of our animal control. And at their commission meeting on November 1st, they approved a revised ordinance that had a lot of just general cleanup, but the main point of it was to approve unattended tethering of animals. So that will no longer be allowed in the city limits of Social Circle per county ordinance. And finally, we have the formal recognition of Magnolia Street as a public street. There's been a lot of debate over the years whether it's a public street or not. This will officially adopt Magnolia Street as a public street from West Higher Tower Trail for approximately half a mile up to parcel SC 060009. And then everything beyond that parcel will be abandoned. And once we have this as a formal city street, we can do some drainage work over there, which we plan on doing.
Great.
So we recommend approval of the consent agenda.
Thank you, sir. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I would like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Have a motion from Teresa, a second from Tyson. Any further discussion? All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, under unfinished business, we had a parcel, 586 North Cherokee Road, and had been tabled a number of times for conditional use zoning. That applicant has made a request to withdraw that application, so I'll entertain a motion to withdraw that applicant's application.
Second.
The motion from Steve, second from Teresa.
Mayor, can I make a comment before we
Yes, sir.
vote so we can clarify
Yes, sir.
for the record?
Right.
So she does intend on bringing this back next month. It's going into planning and zoning with a couple of additional items in addition to the conditional use zoning. So this is not a withdrawal to never come back.
Sure.
This is a withdrawal to kind of clean up where we are in the process.
Very well. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. J, on the second one, the amendment for a general section of zoning ordinance delivery of violations and citations, I believe we're just going to remove that. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for that removal.
So moved.
We have two motions. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, let me just add the reason why. That's because the ordinance we're trying to put forward apparently is contradictory with what the law actually allows. So apparently we're not allowed to do this.
Our judge is not comfortable with it, so we are respecting the judge's wishes.
Okay, is that understood by everyone? Okay.
So what we're gonna do now?
Go back to making sure it's delivered in person.
For criminal citations, they need to be personally served. If it's an issue with,
For criminal citations, it needs to be personally served. If it's an issue with how a property looks, if the house is falling in, there is a process to doing that, and that is y'all approving a nuisance action, which does not have to be personally served. But that only is for real property violations that are a nuisance, you know, house falling in or doors off or stuff like that. And that brings them in civilly in the city court where we can ask them to fix it, and if not, the city has the authority to fix it and then put a lien on the property.
All right, any other questions? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. All right, next up, we have new business. The first item is the fiscal year 2024 grant proposal budget for the GDOT 5311 Transit Program. Amber?
Yes, sir. This is the time of year that we go through the long and strenuous process budget with GDOT. So tonight I bring before you is recommended for mayor and council to approve the grant budget to be submitted to GDOT for fiscal year 24. The estimated budget is $146,805, of which the required matching funds would be $73,402.50 from the city. Just a little background, the city operates a 5311 public transit system. Like I said, it's funded 50% match from the FTA, and then it's an on-demand system allowing residents to request a trip as needed throughout the city limits Monday through Friday from 8 to 4. Trips are also provided to medical and government offices in Monroe and Covington. A local trip one way is $1 and Monroe-Covington round trip is $5. Staffing of the transit system currently includes one full-time supervisor position, which has been vacant since April of this year, and one full-time driver position. And then the downtown director salary is allocated at 25% as transit director from the program. And staff recommends approval of this budget.
All right, you've heard Amber's presentation. Is there a motion?
I want to ask, when you say we have an open position?
Yes, so we have, what the position that Mindy McQueen filled was a full-time position, and then, so she's been gone since April, and so Andrea is our full-time driver, so between her and I, we have been filling the duties for the supervisor position.
So will this grant money allow us to fill that position?
We can fill the position at any time. It's through the grant that we currently have with GDOT.
It's currently open.
Any other questions for Amber? Is there a motion?
Second.
A motion from Steve, second from Teresa. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Next up, we have board appointments. Steve, I believe you wanted that item.
I'm going to nominate John Garner for the Development Authority of Social Service.
Okay, we've got a motion to appoint John Gardner as a member of the Social Circle Development Authority. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion with 2 seconds. Susan, take your pick on that one. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Congratulations, John. Good to see you. All right, next up, we've added 4 moratoriums to the agenda tonight. We'll take each one of those and get a motion on it. I'll ask our city manager to introduce each of those.
Okay, so the first one is a resolution to extend a temporary moratorium on the accepting of applications for business licenses for title loan companies, payday loan companies, and other similar practices. This will extend this until April 30th. I think currently we have it on the books till December 31st, but we're trying to get all 4 of these at the same time to make it easier to manage, rather than doing them all the time.
Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion on that one.
So move.
Second.
Motion from Tyson, second from Teresa. Further discussion? All in favor?
How long do we think it's gonna take to,
So,
we've been working on this a while?
So we are working on, we do have a draft of the Unified Development Code. We're going through it right now. I know the attorney's been looking through it, I've been looking through it, Barbara's been looking through it. And it's almost at a point where we are ready to get it back before the Stakeholders Committee. Hopefully we can get the Stakeholders Committee back together in December. I feel fairly confident that we can get a majority, if not all of these, done by April 30th. Definitely the sign. I would expect that to be approved next month.
So we're just doing April 30 as a cushion date.
Yep.
And they expire upon adoption
Yeah.
of whatever they do, so go over there.
Any other discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. Item number 4.
So the next one is a resolution of the mayor and council of the City Social Circle extending a temporary moratorium on accepting of applications for rezoning for the residential zoning classes in the City of Social Circle. Again, this will go until April 30th or until a new zoning code is adopted.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Teresa, second from Steve. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 5.
Item number 5 is a resolution of the mayor and council of the City of Social Circle establishing a temporary moratorium on accepting of applications for building permits for the uses of warehouses or distribution centers until April 30th or until the zoning code is revised.
Entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Motion from Steve, second from Tyson. Any further debate or discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And the last item, number 6.
Item number 6 is a resolution of the mayor and council of the City of Social Circle extending a temporary moratorium on accepting of applications for permits for certain signs, and specifically this is for signs exceeding 100 square feet of sign face. This is until August or April the 30th, or until the zoning code is revised. And again, this is going before Planning Commission in December.
Okay.
So if Planning Commission approves it, then it'll be before this body for approval in December.
All right.
But we're suggesting April 30th just to make it all consistent, make it easier to manage for now.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So move.
Motion from Tyson and second from Nathan. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Gentlemen, anything else?
We have nothing else for this evening.
All right, I don't know of a need for an executive session. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
A motion in 3 seconds, so, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned.
Okay.